When they rescinded the memo, the judge dropped the case against it, and then the press secretary said that shit, and now a judge is taking the case back up and issuing a temporary restraining order against it. Uno reverse card on top of Uno reverse card on top of Uno reverse card. It doesn't make any sense. It's all chaos. Since we're talking about chaos and insanity and nothing making any kind of sense, here is Donald Trump's spending freeze cancellation maybe. The White House Budget Office rescinded the federal funding freeze. Now, Donald Trump came out and said, cut all the spending, all the federal spending. We're going to just stop it. And everybody panicked and everybody went nuts. And they said, dude, that's like 10% of the government spending that you're cutting right there. You're freezing it. Lots of people are going to be without the stuff they need. Lots of researchers aren't going to get their research. Lots of cancer researchers aren't going to get paid. Lots of the nursing homes aren't going to be able to pay their employees. Lots of people are going to be cut off of Medicaid. Medicaid is not going to work. That means sick children don't get taken care of. That means elderly people, well, not elderly, they have Medicare, but that means people on Medicaid are going to be hurt and they're not going to be able to see the doctor and they're going to die maybe. And so everybody freaked out. And then Donald Trump said, oh, okay, well, the White House Budget Office rescinded its federal funding freeze memo. Now, to you, that might seem like, okay, well, they're going to do the spending. No, they're just rescinding the memo. They're still not going to this is not a recession of the federal funding freeze, says the press secretary. It is simply recession of the memo. Why? To end any confusion created by the court's injunction. The president's executive order on federal funding remains in full force and effect and will be rigorously implemented. So, to get rid of the confusion, they canceled the thing that told everybody what they were doing. To lower the confusion, to clear up the confusion, they stopped telling you what they're doing. What are they doing? You don't know. What are they going to spend on? You don't know. What are they going to do? You don't know. Nobody knows. Because we would hate to have confusion. Wouldn't that be awful? Confusion. So they get in charge of the government and they play an Uno reverse card and said, no, we're not using money to fund the government. Okay, that's confusing, but then they get in trouble for that. And then they play another Uno reverse card and say, yeah, we are going to allow the funding, we're canceling the memo, freeze memo. And then everybody's like, oh, okay, well, that does kind of make sense. And then they play another Uno reverse card and say, well, we're still going to do the federal funding freeze, but we're just canceling the memo. They're chaos. They have no idea what they're doing. They are imbeciles. They do not know how to run a government because they are idiots. They have chased out anyone with brains. I don't think you can have a fully functioning brain and work for Donald Trump. It would harm your fully functioning brain to do so. And then it would be, and in its confusion, it would hurt itself. And because it hurt itself, you no longer fully functioning brain, you see? Working for Donald Trump, paying attention to him, believing the words that he says, harms your brain. And then you continue to work for him, like this lady here, a wonderful Nazi Barbie, Carolyn Levitt, that she is, to facilitate him and his messaging, which is insane. Anyway, I mean, the man is a rambling nonsense machine. He just spits nonsense all day long. None of the things he says are true. And she has to then take the nonsense that he says, then kind of repeat it to the press. She goes in, she's the one who's going to be, I don't know if you've noticed her yet, but that lady right there is going to be the one who stands in front of the podium, in front of all the press that sit out there in the White House, and they ask those stupid questions. And then she spins it into something that can almost be sensical, but even with a president who knows what they're doing, that's difficult because you don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to actually tell the people what you're doing, because what you're doing is going to hurt somebody somewhere. That's just how being president works. Any choice you make is going to hurt somebody. Somebody's going to be pissed off at you at any choice you make. And so you have to just give them the good feels, the fee-fees, the good fees. And she's going to try to just kung fu flip all of the words that Donald Trump says into something that can go to the press. And the press is going to eat her alive, and they're going to scream at her, and they're going to ask her difficult questions like, what in the fuck does that mean? How does that make sense? Or what in the fuck does Donald Trump mean when he says the crazy things that he says? And she's going to lie and make some shit up. And then if you ask too many difficult questions, they're just going to kick you out of that room. And then they won't invite you back. Because they can just invite whoever they want into that press room. The press already kind of sucks. They're definitely on Donald Trump's side already. But they're getting a little bit worse. And I think I gave a little bit of hope last week. Because I really do think that they're going to be on his side for like a year. And then they're going to flip on him. I think that the press needs him to be a solid color. They need to paint him as something so that they can flip it on its head later. They need to say the things that he's been promising so that when he fails, it makes for a better story. It makes for a better TV show. It makes for very good TV. So what they're going to have to do is wait for one of those things to fail, and then they'll pounce on it and abandon him. He'll scream, he'll cry and scream and about how the fake news media and all this fun stuff. But the people will watch, and that won't be good for them. But yeah, that's just me guesstimating. I've gone off track again. What the hell am I supposed to be talking about? What am I supposed to be looking at? Oh yeah, takesies backsies. So here's another one. Here's another one. So they canceled all the DEI. Remember? Donald Trump canceled all the DEI. Now, when you cancel all the DEI from the federal government, that means that you're not allowed to talk about the Tuskegee Airmen anymore. Who are they? Well, they were a bunch of black pilots during World War II. But you might see the problem. If you've canceled DEI, then you can't brag about the groundbreaking black pilots for the Air Force, for the Navy, the Air Force, yeah. You can't brag about them. This used to be something we talked about. That was something we taught the new Air Force recruits. Hey, look, even if you're black, you can be here. We like you. You're equal to us. That's okay. But that's DEI, honestly. So they canceled DEI. So they stopped showing the Tuskegee Airmen video. And then they put it back. Pete Hegseth, who was just recently confirmed, said, hey, actually, what are you doing? Why did you remove that? That wasn't DEI. That's just talking about the diversity within the Air Force and the equality that we gave to these people and the inclusion of this race into the stuff. That's not DEI. That's not DEI. No. Pete Hegseth says, that's not DEI. That's just showing off our diversity and our equality and our integration. That's not DEI. So they brought it back in. So they canceled DEI. So they were doing a thing. They've been showing this video to recruits for decades. This isn't a new thing. Joe Biden didn't put this into play 6 minutes ago. No, this has been shown to everybody in the Air Force dozens of times for 30 fucking years at least. And so they played the Uno reverse card and said, no DEI. And so the Air Force is like, okay, well, I guess we'll just take out this thing about race. And then they were like, well, no, Uno reverse card again. You're allowed to talk about that because we like it. We just like it. It's okay. That one's okay. That's DEI is okay. The DEI about the Tuskegee Airmen is acceptable. And now they're like, okay, I guess we'll put it back in. Why did you go through this rigmarole? Why did we go through this double spin, this double cancellation, this cancel DEI, close the thing, bring it back, and then claim we're heroes? I think that maybe that's what they were doing. When they rescinded the memo, the judge dropped the case against it, and then the press secretary said that shit, and now a judge is taking the case back up and issuing a temporary restraining order against it. Uno reverse card on top of Uno reverse card on top of Uno reverse card. It doesn't make any sense. It's all chaos. So she might not be the press secretary for long. He's going to go through press secretaries every couple of weeks. I think Scaramucci, which gave us the limit, the mooch, the measurement of time, which I want to say is 11 days. Maybe we get somebody shorter than a mooch, shorter than 11 days. I'm not entirely sure. They're going to go through a lot of press secretaries because he's going to say something stupid The press secretary is going to say it, reinforce it. The people are going to be like, hey, that's really fucking stupid. Are you fucking dumb? What are you talking about? And then he'll be like, oh, wait, no, I didn't mean that. What I actually meant was the exact opposite of the thing that I said. And then he'll do the exact opposite of the thing that he said. And then the press secretary will come out and be like, hey, he was always clear. The president has always been clear that he is for the thing he was against before he was for it. Uno reverse card. Opposite day. It's opposite day. It's double opposite day. And if you can't keep up, that's your fault. You're an idiot. It's awful. And Pete Hegseth, who canceled DEI, hates DEI, got the Tuskegee Airmen pulled and then re-added them, only wants you to pay attention to that last bit. I re-added them. I'm a hero. I put the Tuskegee Airmen back in place. I'm a hero. We're great. We're awesome. We're amazing. We solved a problem that we caused unnecessarily. We solved it, though. We solved this problem. Yes, we caused it. Yes, we wrote it down, and we hate it, and we really would like it to go away, but we solved this problem, and it won't happen again. But I mean, we are going to change things again next week. I've got a whole handful of Uno reverse cards, and I got nothing to do with them. And it's just reverse card after reverse card. Was there another one? I think so. Let's see. So they are putting it back in place. Let's see, what other wacky thing? Oh yeah, okay. Remember how I was really worried that they were going to build a bunch of concentration camps in America? I was worried for nothing. We're not going to build concentration camps. We already have one, and it's in Guantanamo. When signing the Lake and Raleigh Act, Trump says he'll send the worst criminal migrants to Guantanamo. So I overreacted, and I'm sorry. Okay, I thought he was going to build a bunch of concentration camps. That's not necessary. We already got a good one. And so we'll just send them all there. We'll just send them all to Guantanamo. What could possibly go wrong? How many people can Guantanamo even fit, I wonder? It's not 20 million like he wants to deport. I wonder how many prisoners can Guantanamo fit? I'm going to Google that while we talk. How many prisoners can Guantanamo Bay hold? There we go. I'm glad Google knew what I was talking about, because I did not know how to spell Guantanamo. I got about GUA and I was like, wait a minute, what? It can hold. Let's see. What's it say? As of January 25, at least 780 people from 48 countries have been detained in the camp. War terror. It doesn't say what's our operating capacity here. Capacity. What are you doing to me? I can't find it. It has 612 units. Okay. You cram 3 people into each unit, or 4 if you really want to push it. That's 2,400. Okay. So 2,400 at the very max. I'm saying you get 4 people into a room and all of a sudden it gets nutty. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're talking 2,400 people. That's not very many. That's a long way from the 20 million that he wants to get rid of. So I suspect that it'll be a transitionary place if they do it at all. I don't think they will. It would be very bad press. I mean, the press already knows where Guantanamo Bay is. Like, they know what it looks like. They've got photos, and they know how to get there. They know the address. They've got the address. Okay, so they will just show up, and they will point their cameras. And we've already seen the terrorists that are cruising around out there. Don't they still have a few that are still there because we can't get rid of them? Because we arrested them illegally, and if we were to put them in front of a judge or a competent lawyer, they would just be like completely released, and we would be sued to hell. I'm surprised it gives capacity. Sounds like a national security concern. No, I don't think so. Well, national security, it's a prison. I don't know how would that be a concern? Yeah. How many people you can lock up is not too concerning, I think. You're not going to be able to harm anybody. You're not going to be able to harm us with that. So this is a dumb idea. Donald Trump is dumb, so he does dumb things, and he says dumb things. And this might not even come to pass. Did he run this by anybody? Entirely possible that the answer is no. It's entirely possible that he just vomited that bit of information right out of his big, dumb poop brain into a microphone while nobody knew it was coming. That's entirely possible. That he never spoke to anybody about this in any way, and they didn't know he was going to say it. They'll know how many terrorists we can hold. Oh, shit. If they do the math. Okay, so Al-Qaeda's done the math, and they said, listen, they can only hold 2,400 people at Gitmo. So we need 2,401 terrorists. We can't hold the 10 million illegal immigrants they want to deport. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But now Al-Qaeda can do 2,401 terrorists, and they won't have any place for that one. He'll just have to go free, I suppose. He'll just get set. He'll be tied to the roof or something like that. But yeah, there's no room for 10 million people there, for sure. Gitmo 2, Electric Boogaloo. I like it. This would be fun. So yeah, that he could have just made all this up out of nowhere, and nobody's actually planning to do that, and no one would ever plan to do that. I mean, that is a military facility, and these people aren't going to be held by military people. I don't think the military can detain and move migrants around and stuff like that. They're not a jail system. So I don't have any idea if this is legal. I don't have any idea if it was even possible, but he said it. So now we have to talk about it, unless it's a distraction, and we've all been distracted. Way to go, you guys. As we talked about this, he stole more money from taxpayers. Shit, way to go. We did it. He did it. He got us again. Think of how much it's going to cost, $700,000 to deport 84 people. Yeah. That's the number we've got so far. The people that we did toss out, 84 of them. Some of them were children. Most of them were not criminals, just like I suggested. They're just rounding up everybody they can. And they were sent via fucking Osprey or some shit. So damn stupid. You see photos of the troops going to the border, delivering supplies in an Osprey. The most inefficient device ever created by the military, I bet. An Osprey. Let's find a picture of the Osprey. Oh, wait, we already got Google up. It's these stupid fucking things. They look cool. I agree. They look cool. Okay. The blades go up and then they can point down. You can they twist. They rotate so that they go forward as well. It's just they're mechanically complicated and they're incredibly expensive. If you wanted the most expensive way to get shit into a place, it would be on this fucking plane. It would be on an Osprey. And they were using it to deliver supplies to our side of the border. Our side, the side that we own, that we have cars and trucks and roads on. They're our roads. You could have put 10 times more in some trucks and brought it down for a much cheaper price. Somebody needs to call the fucking Doge, because this is inefficient. Okay? This is the inefficiency that the Doge should be after. I'm not sure why the Doge isn't all over this. Doge, listen, Doge, Elon, Grok, I know you're listening. Get on this. Cancel that fucking Osprey. Don't fly supplies to our side of the border in this motherfucker. Put it in a truck, drive it there. We own the roads. They're our roads. Oh, yeah. I saw that, but I don't know if... I know it just happened. The DCA airport is, but unless you can blame that on Joe Biden, I don't know if it's a politics situation, but we can look at it. You just go here and look at, passenger jet collides with helicopter while landing at Reagan National Airport. So yeah, a bunch of things crashed. Not a bunch of things, but 2 things crashed. Plane crashed into Potomac River after collision with a helicopter near Reagan Airport. I think you can actually see it.
Tom, I want to put up something on...
No, somebody else had the actual photos of it happening. Let's see. Keep scrolling. Yeah, here it goes. Pow, see it? Through the bright light there. Oh, they're going to replay it. Oh, was it a Black Hawk? Oh my. Kapow. And then they crash. If it was a Black Hawk, that's even worse. Were they doing anything important? Were they faffing about, screwing around, trying to make for photo ops so Donald Trump could feel fucking better? If that is the case, the interesting thing that I would be interested in is what the hell were they doing? What was the Black Hawk doing? Was it on like actual? Did I not put any of that on screen? Jesus Christ Almighty! I'm so bad at this, you guys. I really am. I'm so bad at everything streaming related. You'd think I would be better at it by this point, but I'm not. There it is. Okay, we're gonna put it on the screen this time so you guys can seize it. That was a pre-watch so that I could make sure there wasn't any gore on screen. That's what that was. Yes. And I realized that there was no gore. It's a horrible sight, sure, but there's no gore, so it's okay to show it on live stream. That's what that was. We're gonna pretend that's what that was. We're just gonna say that I'm so good at live streaming. We're gonna say that I'm so good at it that I thought I had saved myself. It's not true. I'm a terrible screw up. But the political issue of this is, what if it's a Black Hawk? What were they doing? Was it an important mission? Accident? Yes, I'm sure. Not to be blamed or anything like that. Not that I'm trying to find blame, but were they doing something stupid for the Donald Trump? Like with the Ospreys? Like, were they trying to scare some immigrants? Were they carrying around people who were going to go to the border for a photo shoot? Sounds like a bad idea. Let's see. What else are we talking about tonight? So let's go over here. We got that. We already got the Gitmo thing. What is this? It was leaked to us. Army in chaos over Trump orders. Confusion. Again, confusion. That's what I'm saying, man. Around the new administration's pending spending freezes and executive orders has caused disarray inside the Pentagon. They don't know what the fuck is going on. These people are so fucking chaotic that the Pentagon doesn't know what's going on. The Army rushed to satisfy President Donald Trump's executive orders this week, sparking so much confusion that top officials directed a halt on new contracts and then walked it back. Uno reverse card. The latest muddled response to a series of chaotic actions by the White House. Top officials misinterpreted Trump's order on diversity, equity, and inclusion to set an Army freeze on deals for new weapons. Were the weapons only going to kill white people? I don't understand how the weapons are DEI. I'm not sure. The Pentagon clarified on Tuesday that it wasn't going to issue a pause. The move upended the defense industry and signaled a broader uncertainty around the president's sweeping actions. It also reinforced the challenges to Trump's quick decision approach to governance. Quick decision. That's the nicest way you could say it. Quick decision approach to governance. How about he's just pulling shit out of his ass because he's an idiot. Such as recent orders to freeze certain federal funding and foreign military aid. That has sent agencies scrambling. Such tension is particularly acute at the Pentagon, where questions about the impact of Trump's executive orders threaten to slow down high-dollar programs and rock the defense industry. Oh no! What kind of signal does this send to the defense industry base, which is already plagued with a number of challenges? A lot of that stems from the very unclear demand signal from the U.S. government. Yeah, if the person in charge of the government starts acting erratically, then we can't figure out what to do. Action for action's sake, maybe. That's a good point, Shinsinto. His quick decision approach is actually action for action's sake. He doesn't know what he's doing, so he just does something and then blames you if it goes wrong. It was not communicated to us directly. It was leaked to us. A defense industry executive granted anonymity to discuss a sensitive matter said about the ordeal. We are interpolating based on memos that are government to government and attempting to turn that into useful information. They are reading memos written by chimpanzees, trying to turn that into useful information. But they can't, because they will just reverse Uno card anything that's written down. They will reverse Uno card anything that happened beforehand. And it doesn't make any sense. No one knows what to expect. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And even if you knew what was going to happen tomorrow, there's still a chance that you get the reverse Uno card at any given moment. Let's see. This is about the airmen that we already talked about. Yeah, the people in the military are just confused because they don't know what these fucknuts are doing. Hey, look, there's a buyout offer for federal workers. So again, more craziness. He offered to buy out a whole bunch of federal workers. Instead of having them quit, he would give them a bunch of money to quit because he doesn't want them there, because he wants the government to fail. And if it's not failing, it needs to bend to him. It needs to do exactly what he wants it to do. And if it's doing anything that he disagrees with, he's going to cancel it. He's going to fire you. He's going to make it stop doing that thing. because he is the God Emperor now. He's not the president. He is the fucking God Emperor. And if he doesn't like it, it doesn't fly. If he doesn't like what this government thing is doing, doesn't matter the law, doesn't matter if it was passed by the Congress, doesn't matter how long it's been in effect, he will just make it stop. Because it's his government now, not yours. It's not of the people, for the people, by the people. No. That has ended. It is no longer the case. It's of Trump, by Trump, for Trump. And he will play that reverse Uno card as many times as he wants because it's fucking his. Are we tired of winning yet, Waldo? Yes, we are tired. 10 past 11, we are tired of winning. It's true. Let's see what this one has to say. What does this one have to say? Trump's ultimatum to federal workers is backfiring, making them vow to stay in their positions out of sheer spite. I do like being a government worker out of spite. It's quite nice. On Tuesday, the president announced that he'd be giving federal workers a choice: return to the office full-time or quit with a buyout and severance pay through September 30th. This is part of his efforts to revamp the federal bureaucracy in his own image and with his own supporters. The president required that employees return to work in person. We know that. Federal workers aren't taking this lying down. I'll be honest, before the email went out, I was looking for a way to get out of this fresh hell. Lay Redditor. Works for the government. But now I am fired up to make these goons as frustrated as possible. RTO be damned. The sentiments were echoed throughout the thread. So this is a very cool Reddit thread. I hope that some of these people are actually federal workers and not just lay Redditors. I'll continue to do my job and fight for the position I've earned. It took me 10 years of flying and 20 years of experience in my field to get here. I will not be pushed out by 2 billionaire trust fund babies. I'm not leaving, says a person on Reddit who may actually work for the federal government. You're not entirely sure. It is lay Reddit. Okay, so I've never been motivated to stay. I've never been more motivated to stay. Before the buyout memo, I was getting ready to go job hunting, but then a revelation hit. I took an oath under this position to the American people, and leaving my job under the current state would be failing to maintain my oath as a civil servant. You can't buy me off or scare me away. This is all very heartwarming, but I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's even real. I don't know if it's true. It has some of that resist, lib kind of energy from 2016, where we were all like, yeah, we're going to fight against Donald Trump. We're going to keep it going. And then he just did whatever he wanted. And he mostly failed that first term because he didn't know what he was doing. He knows what he's doing now. He's surrounded himself with people who know how the government actually works. They took a class, and they're tearing it down. They're burning that shit to the ground. The government is going to fail very soon, even if these people are truly helping and sticking around. And hopefully, if these people are still there, they can, continue to function properly. That would be nice if they actually are going to stick around.
Pressing the thumbs up button will release chemicals in your human brain that will make you feel.
Pentagon agency pauses celebrations for Martin Luther King Day and Black History Month and more. So again, Uno reverse cards, we canceled the DEI. So the Pentagon is like, okay, no more DEI. I guess we'll knock that whole Martin Luther King Jr. Day thing off the books. Black History Month, not a thing we practice anymore. Not going to do that because we're canceling DEI. And then they're like, no, we like that. What? Paused observances of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Pride Month, Holocaust Day of Remembrance, and other cultural or historical events in response to President Donald Trump's ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. The instructions were published on Tuesday in a Defense Intelligence Agency memo obtained by the Associated Press. In effect, 11 annual events: Black History Month, National Hispanic Heritage Month. The memo's authenticity was confirmed by a U.S. official who said that the pause was initiated by the DIA and appears not to be policy across the Defense Department. The official spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss sensitive matters. We're receiving questions across the workforce on the way forward. DIA will pause all activities and events related to agency special emphasis programs. So they're canceling that, but then they're going to come back and reverse Uno card it again. Pete Hegseth will be like, oh no, that's not what we meant. We wanted you to cancel DEI, not Black History Month. They don't know what DEI means. They don't know what the words mean. They just know they hate it. They don't know what it is. They've never seen it. They don't know how to act. They don't know what it sounds like. They don't know where it comes from, but they know they hate it. And when you start canceling normal things that they have come to think are normal, they'll be like, wait, what? That's not DEI. That's talking about how great Martin Luther King was. Yeah, dipshits. That's what DEI has always been. But they don't know what it is. They don't know what it means. And they're just going to pick and choose. What they do, they blanket cancel all DEI. Then when somebody complains and is like, hey, does that mean we don't get MLK day off anymore? They'll be like, no, that one's fine. They will carte blanche. No, not carte. They will, what's that other word? Where you pick and choose at the menu, at the restaurant. A la carte. They will pick and choose, a la carte, which DEIs they like and which ones they don't like. Anything they like, they'll give the pass to. And anything they don't like, they'll just ignore. And that is the way that our government is going to operate now. It's a stupid way to operate. It's a really dumb way to operate, but they're going to do it because they're stupid and dumb. It's just not going to make any sense. And nobody's going to know what the answers are. No one's going to know what the rules are. They're not going to have a set of rules that you can look at and follow. No, it's all according to the Trump whim. We're all function. We used to be a country of laws. That's gone. That's over. We are no longer a country of laws. We are a country of the dictator's whims. If Donald Trump feels like we should celebrate MLK, we will. If he feels like we shouldn't, then we won't. I think they just means an unqualified brown person gets a job over a white man. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't know. DEI is whatever they want it to be. If they want it to be Martin Luther King Jr. Day, it will be. If they don't want it to be that, it won't be. It is entirely amorphous. It is a big blob of Play-Doh, just like their brains, that changes shape anytime they need it to. If they need it to be scary, it'll be scary. If they need it to be worthless, it'll be worthless. If they need it to be weak, soy, and ineffectual, it will be all of those things. But it will also change to murder you. It is the weak murderer that is right behind you and isn't really real. And it's weak and strong at the same time. It's another one of those fascist terms, isn't it? It's another one of those rules that Umberto Eco wrote for fascists. The enemy is weak and strong at the same time. And that's what we're seeing here, is that DEI is a weakness that we cannot abide, and we really like a lot of it. It doesn't make any sense. They are inconsistent. So let's close that. What else have we got? Trump makes moves. Trump makes moves to expand his power, sparking chaos and possible constitutional crisis. So I think this is just the AP complaining about him canceling things. A lot of the spending stuff that he canceled, he's not allowed to do that. The new administration's most provocative move came this week when it announced it would temporarily halt federal payments to ensure that they complied with Trump's orders, barring DEI programs. The technical sounding directive has enormous immediate impact before it was blocked by a federal judge, potentially putting trillions of dollars from police departments, domestic violence shelters, nutrition services, and disaster relief programs that rely on federal grants. The administration on Wednesday rescinded the order, unless they didn't, because they might not have. Though the Republican administration denied Medicaid was affected, it acknowledged the online portal stating that allowing states to file for reimbursement from the program was shut down for part of Tuesday, and insisted it was an error. Oops, it was an oopsie doopsie. We accidentally, oopsie doopsie, we shut down that thing that pays for people's medical treatments. Oops. Yeah, it's just a little oopsie doopsie, nothing to worry about. No sign of what's to come. No, this isn't a bit of evidence on what you should expect from the government from now on. And then the AP is just saying that, hey, legal experts have noted that the president is explicitly forbidden from cutting off spending for programs that Congress has approved. So he's not allowed to do what he just did. And that's why I'm telling you, we're not a country of laws anymore. We are a country of Donald Trump's whim. If he feels it, it's true. If he doesn't feel it, then it's not. If he wants things to be legal, they will be. If he wants them to be illegal, they will be. I expected incompetence, wasn't disappointed. Yeah, I'm definitely expecting incompetence. I was expecting chaos, and we're getting it, baby. We are getting all that chaos.
I am the algorithm. Click on this video to make me happy. You wouldn't like me when I am angry.